Hi everyone, we're going to be talking a little bit about health and safety today. So to start with, we're going to talk about the police department and the fire department and times that you would call them and what they do for us. So the first group I want you to think about is the police department. I want you to think about what they do for us in the community and times when you might call them. Okay, so have something in your mind of a time you might call them. So if somebody steals a bike off of your porch or a piece of property, that would be a time that you would call the police. If you notice that your can of pop is missing out of the refrigerator, probably not a time you're going to call the police. You would check with the people that you live with to determine what happened to that pop, because it's not an emergency, so we're not going to call the police. And you would, if you've had a stranger in the community that was bothering you and threatening you, that's a time that you would call the police. If you have a roommate that's bugging you and annoying you, that's not a time to call the police, because while it's annoying, you know it's not a danger to your safety, so you don't need to call. And the difference is you don't know the stranger in the community. You do know the person that's living with you, and you have people around you that can help you, whether it be your parent or your group home manager, somebody there that can help you with that situation. It's usually a good idea to check with either your parent or your group home manager or somebody if they agree when you want to call the police or the fire department, and see if they agree that it's a good idea to do that. So how would you call the police if you needed to call them in an emergency? You would call 911. So 911 is for emergencies only. You don't want to call them just to have a conversation or just to give them a hey, an update, only when it is a true emergency, and that is very important. So non-emergency calls can be made to the actual police department phone number. So you can search online or in a phone book for your local police department's phone number and call them for non-emergency things at their direct number, not 911. So our police departments are different in every community, and sometimes at our day centers we're able to go and tour them and meet our police and that sort of thing, but you can definitely learn more about where it is in your specific community, again, by going online and searching it. If you see a policeman in the community, they are definitely a good person to ask for help and also thank for their service, since they do spend so much time protecting our safety and making sure that we're okay. The next group I want you to think about is the fire department. So what does the fire department do for us? And when are times that you might call them? So I want you to have that thinking in your mind. So if you're cooking dinner at home and the pan of grease catches on fire, that's a time that you would call the fire department. If someone burns dinner and it causes smoke and stinks, but there's no fire, then you're not going to call the fire department. If someone is smoking and drops a cigarette on the floor and it's burning, you would not call the fire department. Now, if you can't reach it and you can't put it out and you think it's going to catch something on fire, then you would definitely call the fire department. But otherwise, you would just pick it up, put it out, and take care of it. If you wake up in the middle of the night and you smell smoke, you would wake somebody else up and let them know. That's why it's really important for us to have working smoke detectors in our home, and you never ignore the smell of smoke. Don't ever try to fight a fire by yourself. Call someone for help. And so our fire departments are throughout our communities and in different places in every city. And so we work at our day centers to try to familiarize everybody with local fire departments, and we encourage you to do so as well. Again, 911 is for emergencies only, not just a heads up. And we do have plans within our day centers of what to do in case there's a fire. We have evacuation routes and safe places where we would meet, and we do fire drills monthly. So we do try to work on that when we're together in person at the day center as well. So a fun little activity that I'd like to do with you today, I'm going to read some different scenarios, and I want you to think about, would you call 911 or would you not call 911? All right, so keep track at home and see how well you do with this fun game. Someone is burning trash in their backyard and the smoke is bothering you. Would you call 911? No, you would not call 911, because although it's annoying, it's not dangerous. Remember, 911 is for emergencies only. Your roommate is mad because you ate his donut and he says, I hate you, I'm gonna kill you. Would you call 911? No. you would not. Definitely annoying. You definitely want to talk to whoever you're living with, your parents, your group home manager, and talk about how you can resolve that situation, but you're not going to call 911 because you ate his donut and he's annoyed with you. You see one car bump into another car in the parking lot. Would you call 911? No, that is a minor fender bender. They can take care of it between themselves. You do not need to call 911 because remember, 911 is for emergencies only. You spill some hot coffee on your leg and it hurts for just a moment. Would you call 911? No, you would not. You might call your doctor and get some follow-up. You might call your nurse line and get some information on what to do for that minor burn, but that is not an emergency, so we're not going to call 911. Someone has broken into your house. Would you call 911? Yes, you would. That is an emergency, so we would definitely call 911. You see a car crash and you're pretty sure that someone may be hurt. Would you call 911? Yes, you would, for sure. Definitely when somebody is injured in a car accident, you definitely want to call 911. Someone faints and you cannot wake them up. Would you call 911? Yes, you would. That is a medical emergency, so we would call 911. You cut yourself with a kitchen knife and you can't stop bleeding. Would you call 911? Yes, you would, because again, that is a medical emergency. You see someone have a seizure. Would you call 911? No. You would make sure you alert somebody, a care provider, a family member, somebody, so that they could do whatever interventions are necessary for that person, but that is not necessarily a 911 call. You see smoke coming from an electrical socket in the wall of your house. Would you call 911? Yes, because remember, we don't fight fires on our own, and we take every instance of smoke seriously. So that's the end of our game today, and that's the end of our video about police and fire. Thanks so much. Have a